Hello everyone, this is Mr. Tanner, and this video is going to help you with how to model lunar and solar eclipses. You're going to want to make sure that both drawings that I make are added to your notebook as well. So if you need to pause it to copy what I'm doing down, that's perfectly fine, but make sure by the time we're done with this video, both a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse are in your notebook. We're going to start with a solar eclipse. And to model that, we'll just put the sun on the far left. So this will be our sun. And then solar eclipses can only happen during new moons. So then the moon will be between the sun and the earth. So making these drawings a little bit quick, they certainly don't have to be perfect, but on the rare occasions that everything is lined up just right, what ends up happening is sunlight will pass by the moon, and then the moon casts a shadow onto the earth. And the shadow has two different regions. It has a darker interior part that's called the umbra. This is the darker part of the shadow. And then you can also have a region where the sunlight is passing outside of the earth. And that's a much wider shadow, but it is a lot dimmer. So the shadow is not nearly as dark because there is some sunlight hitting there. So this colored in region here is the umbra, and outside of the umbra, the dimmer region is the penumbra. So for a solar eclipse, the moon is casting a shadow onto the earth, and we have the darker region of shadow in the center called the umbra, and the outer region called the penumbra. The umbra would be the total solar eclipse. That happens in the umbra, and the penumbra is a partial eclipse. And that is how we would model a solar eclipse that happens during a new moon. So again, this is a solar eclipse. All right, next we would model a lunar eclipse. So this will be our lunar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse is when the earth casts a shadow over the moon, and this can only ever happen during a full moon. So again, we start with our sun. This time the earth will be next. And then we'll have our moon, and this represents a full moon. And the same thing's happening. We're having light from the sun be cast, try that better angle here. So light from the sun is passing by the earth is then casting a shadow over the moon. And again, this interior region, so we have light kind of being cast in two different regions, right? We have this interior and exterior shadows. This interior region is still the umbra. It's a much darker shadow, and then the outer regions here are the penumbra. And we have that lunar eclipse when the moon passes into the Earth's umbral shadow. When it goes into the umbra, we have the lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are more common because the Earth casts a much larger shadow than the moon casts on the Earth. So more people can see a lunar eclipse when they happen. When there's a solar eclipse, only a small portion of Earth ends up seeing that eclipse. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you model those diagrams in your notebook.